President Trump's East Wing ballroom plans may be turning into a sort of purity test for the Democrats. California Congressman Eric Swalwell posting on X, "Don't even think of seeking the Democratic nomination for president unless you pledge to take a wrecking ball to the Trump ballroom on day one." But that's not the attitude that we've seen from some of Trump's biggest media detractors. Both the Washington Post and the New York Times opinion pages now out with pieces defending the construction project. Let's bring in Fox News contributor Ben Domenech. Ben, it's great to see you. So this is what the Washington Post wrote. Privately, many alumni of the Biden and Obama White Houses acknowledge the long overdue need for an event space like what Trump is creating. It is absurd that tents need to be erected on the South Lawn for state dinners and VIPs are forced to use porta potties. The next Democratic president will be happy to have this. We should point out that Jeff Bezos, who owns the Washington Post, through Amazon, is a big donor to this project, but he doesn't control everything.
No, but John, look, you're the expert on this because you've been covering so many White Houses. You've been around a lot more of these state dinners than I have, certainly.
They're embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. It's actually, I mean, this is something that anybody who knows anything about the way that the White House has to handle this, I mean, it looks like a wedding that has been very poorly planned in terms of its logistics.
Indeed.
And in fact, when I interviewed the president in the Oval several months ago, he brought this up specifically and started talking about the women in their nice shoes sinking into the wet grass and the like. That's the kind of thing that you've seen happen over and over in this White House. And look, other nations have setups that are much more impressive. And I think that the president really, this is about more than just his legacy. This is dealing with a significant problem, and anyone serious can say that. The idea that Swalwell is establishing a litmus test for getting rid of this, he's basically saying we need to agree to a giant waste of taxpayer money to punch ourselves in the face out of spite against Donald Trump.
Now, the waste of taxpayer money would be the cost to tear it down.
Exactly.
Right? Because it costs nothing to build it.
It costs nothing to build it. It would be the waste of taxpayer money to tear it down. And look, and then you have to deal with all these other problems. And by the way, we now live in a different era in terms of assassination, the risk that we see to public officials, including, of course, the president.
Yep.
And this is another way to make that safer, as opposed to having to use outside venues.
Yeah, if you've got a hard structure as opposed to a tent,
exactly,
it's easier to defend. A lot of Democrats are lamenting the demolition. They're taking to X to do it, and some of them are getting it wrong, like restaurateur Tom Colicchio, who posted a picture, "My wife and I in the East Wing. I can't believe it's gone." The only problem is that's not the East Wing. That's the diplomatic reception room, which is on the ground floor of the White House, which is what the president walks through every time that he goes out to the helicopter. So Mary Catherine Ham posted a picture of herself and her husband at your Halloween party, which I attended a couple of years ago, which she said, "My husband and I in the East Wing. He tried to save it. I can't believe it's gone."
You know,
this is getting hilarious.
Yes, and we do, pour out one for Nakatomi Plaza. But I do think that it's one of these situations where the reaction to this is a litmus test of whether you can take people's opinions seriously or not. Anyone who has worked in the White House, I was a White House intern way back in the day, they know that Tom Colicchio is not standing in the East Wing there because you know the basic geography of the place. And yet the freak out that you see time and again when the president does things, in this case something that is logical, that makes total sense, and that, frankly, I don't think Republicans would be complaining about if a Democratic president had done it, saying this is the kind of situation that we're in now where the president can do something that makes total rational sense, but he's going to get backlash from a lot of people.
But it's the fact that it's Trump that's doing it.
Of course.
It's like Hillary.
It must be evil.
Hillary Clinton posted this on X a couple of days ago. "It's not his house. It's your house, and he's destroying it." Some people found no small amount of irony in Hillary Clinton talking about the sanctity of the White House.
I do not, I don't know why she has such love for that place, but, apparently that's the way that she feels. Look, I think we can all say that this is going to be a situation where no one in their rational mind, no one who doesn't have TDS is going to be saying that kind of thing going forward. And again, this is the type of thing that makes sense from a rational standpoint, but, people aren't being very rational about a lot of things related to the presidency right now. And again, we hear that even in the words from Joe Biden talking about dark days. The guy that he worked for was a lot less popular in his second term at this same stage than the current president is.
It's almost hilarious what people are posting online. Pictures of themselves in the East Room, saying that they're in the East Wing, or the Cross Hall, and they're in the East Wing, and they're nowhere near. Most famous thing about the East Room, about the East Wing, was the theater.
Yes.
And I mean, that's not exactly THX Dolby.
No,
you can rebuild it bigger and better,
I think
right?
we can put the calligraphy office somewhere else without losing our republic, John.
And they're going to rebuild the colonnade with a rooftop deck as well.
The dark little secret after you work at the White House is it could use a lot of updating in a lot of areas, and this was one that I think is the easiest way to update without actually disturbing anything.
My favorite thing, whenever I brought anybody into the briefing room, they look at it and say, wow, it's a lot smaller than it looks on
gosh,
TV.
no, yes. It's a very dingy place, unfortunately.
Great to see you, Ben. Halloween party next year, right?
Next year.
My wife is very pregnant at the moment. All right, thanks.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.